The second Catherine stepped into that banquet hall, something felt different. Not loud, not obvious, just heavy. Like the air itself paused for a beat. Conversations softened, heads turned, even seasoned royals, people who have seen crowns, jewels, and history walk past them 100 times, couldn't look away. Because Catherine, Princess of Wales, wasn't just wearing a dress, she was wearing gold. And in the royal world, gold is never just a color. At first glance, it looked breathtaking, elegant, regal, almost glowing under the chandeliers. But the real shock wasn't how beautiful the gown was. It was what it meant. Because Catherine is known for playing it safe. Soft blues, gentle whites, diplomatic neutrals. She's the master of subtlety. The woman who never steals the spotlight, unless she intends to. And that night, she absolutely intended to. People forget this, but royal banquets are not fashion shows. They are carefully choreographed political stages. Every fabric choice, every jewel, every shade is scrutinized before anyone steps out. One wrong signal can spark headlines, rumors, or worse, quiet tension behind palace doors. So when Catherine arrived wrapped in a luminous gold gown, it sent an instant message. This was not a background appearance. Whispers began almost immediately. You could see it in the way guests leaned toward each other, eyebrows raised, mouths barely moving, cameras adjusted, lenses zoomed in. Social media, even before the night was over, was already buzzing. Because gold is reserved. Gold is power. Gold is confidence. And for someone like Catherine, who has spent years building a reputation as calm, composed, and non-confrontational, this felt bold, and that's where the shock really started. Royal. Insiders know that gold has a long, loaded history in monarchy. It's the color of coronations, thrones, divine authority. Queens of the past wore gold to assert dominance, legitimacy, and unshakable presence. It's not worn casually. It's not worn by accident, which immediately raised the question, why now? Because timing matters. And Catherine's timing couldn't have been more precise. This banquet wasn't just another glamorous evening. It came at a moment when the royal family has been under intense scrutiny. Public pressure, endless comparisons, questions about leadership, relevance, and unity. And in the middle of all that, Catherine appears, not quietly supporting from the sidelines, but shining. Some royal watchers believe this was her strongest visual statement yet. A reminder that while she may move gracefully, she is fully aware of her position and her future. Others saw it as reassurance, a signal of stability, strength, continuity. Because when the Princess of Wales steps out in gold, she's not competing. She's anchoring, but not everyone was comfortable with that. Behind the smiles and formal bows, insiders say there was tension. Not anger, but surprise. The kind of surprise that comes when someone quietly underestimated suddenly reminds everyone who they are. Catherine has long been praised for knowing her place, for never overshadowing, for blending elegance with restraint. That gold gown challenged that narrative without a single word spoken, and that's what made it so powerful. The gown itself was a masterpiece, structured yet fluid, reflecting light with every step. It hugged authority without screaming for attention. No excessive embellishment, no distracting drama, just confidence. Paired with carefully chosen jewelry that complemented rather than competed, the look felt intentional down to the last detail. Fashion. Analysts immediately started dissecting it. The cut, the tone of gold, not brash, not flashy, but warm and commanding. The styling. Even her posture seemed different, straighter, slower, purposeful. Catherine wasn't rushing through greetings or fading into group photos. She held space, and people noticed. What really fueled the shock, though, was how unlike Catherine this seemed, at least on the surface. But if you've been paying attention closely over the years, this moment didn't come out of nowhere. Catherine has been evolving, gradually, almost invisibly. She's taken on bigger roles, spoken with more authority, appeared more assured in high-stakes moments. This gold gown wasn't a sudden transformation, it was a culmination. A visual punctuation mark at the end of a long sentence she's been writing for years. And the public reaction? Instant and intense. Supporters flooded social media with praise. Future queen energy. Unmatched elegance. She owned the room. Fashion pages reposted the look within minutes. Royal commentators called it one of her most impactful appearances ever. And casual viewers, people who don't normally care about royal fashion, felt it too. Because, even without knowing the history, even without understanding protocol, you could feel the confidence radiating through the screen. Of course, not everyone applauded. Critics questioned whether it was too much, whether gold was appropriate, whether it shifted focus. And that debate only added fuel to the fire. Because controversy, even polite royal controversy, means one thing: impact, and Catherine had made one. There's something fascinating about how silence works in the royal family. No statements were released, no explanations offered, no clarifications made. And that silence spoke volumes. Because when something truly missteps, it's corrected quickly. When it doesn't, when it's allowed to stand, it means it was approved, which leads many to believe this look was carefully sanctioned, possibly even encouraged. Think about that. A future queen, stepping into a room full of global figures, wearing gold, calm, poised, unapologetic, not asking for attention, but not shrinking from it either. That's not rebellion. That's readiness. And here's where the story gets even more interesting. Gold doesn't just symbolize power. It symbolizes legacy, permanence, something that doesn't fade, something that lasts. And in a time when the monarchy is constantly being questioned about relevance, modernization, connection, this visual mattered. Catherine didn't need a speech. She didn't need a headline. The message was woven into fabric and light. She's steady and she's prepared. Even Prince William's demeanor that night caught attention. He appeared relaxed, confident, almost proud. The dynamic between them felt solid, balanced, as if they both understood the weight of the moment, as if this wasn't just about fashion, but about presence. By the end of the evening, one thing was clear. This banquet would be remembered, not for the speeches, not for the guest list, but for the moment Catherine entered, glowing in gold, and subtly reset the room. And that's the brilliance of it all. No drama, no confrontation, no controversy. Spoken aloud, just a gown and the shockwaves it sent. Moments like this are why royal watching never gets old. Because beneath the tradition, beneath the protocol, there are human choices being made. Strategic ones, emotional ones. And sometimes a single dress can say more than 1,000 carefully crafted words. If you enjoy breaking down moments like this, the ones that look simple on the surface but carry layers of meaning, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more breaking royal updates and behind-the-scenes insights. Because when the royals speak without speaking, we're here to decode it. And trust me, this gold gown moment, it won't be the last time Catherine surprises the world.